Hello, everybody. It's me, the man with the guillotine. Back with another, I don't know what to call these, Subnautica video, I guess. Woo. Um, so yeah, the last video, which was why was the Cyclops added to Subnautica, did it incredibly well. Uh, yeah, I got 1.5 thousand views, so 1,500. I got like 8 subs from it. I know 8 subs doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, it propelled us over 50 into around 55 now, I think. Let me check the most recent number. Yep, we're at 55 right now, which is crazy. I think that's cool, and considering I sounded dead the whole time, that's pretty exciting too, I guess. Okay, so I guess we should talk about really, before we get into why, what. That was a really bad example. What is the Seamoth? Basically. So the Seamoth is a one-person submersible. I probably should, okay. The Seamoth is a one-person submersible that is pretty fragile and doesn't have a super high crush depth like the Cyclops or the prawn suit does. I believe the default crush depth is 500. I think it goes up to 700. No, the default is 200, I think. Then it goes up to 500. Then it goes up to 700. That's it. Right. So yeah, um, yeah, and it's not meant for long term like survival, like the Cyclops is, because well, it has no storage to begin with, and it only has, even with the storage module upgrade, it only has a little bit of storage. Now, the Seamoth is pretty fast, though. I mean, it goes through the water pretty fast. So the Seamoth's maximum speed is around 16 meters a second, which I think is the fastest in the game. It's really fragile. It can be, I think, reduced down to around 30 health by a Reaper Leviathan, which, can be a bit terrifying when going to the Aurora. Just a bit. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Aurora, Reaper Leviathan's there. It's like, oh no. And then you're in your Seamoth, and it's like, oh no. Now let's talk about upgrades, because what would the Seamoth be without upgrades? I'll give you a hint. It would be garbage. The Seamoth can have a torpedo system put in along with basic storage modules, hull integrity, blah 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 that you can get. So yeah, it can have a torpedo system, it can have sonar, it can have the crush depth stuff, and it can, interestingly enough, have a solar charger. Really makes you wonder why. I mean, I just want to. The solar charger, yes, well, it can be useful, I guess, in some situations. By the time you have the need to replace one of your Seamoth's power cells, you will have all of the fragments from Moonpool and probably a decent sized habitat, along with other things. And so the ability to build the Moonpool and charge your Seamoth automatically will be there. I've never replaced a power cell on a Seamoth ever. I actually think I don't even think I've ever seen it go below 30%. I mean, yes, there have been times where I've been struggling to find the moonpool fragments like a new game, but I mean, I do find them eventually. It doesn't take so long that I need a solar charger. And it's not like the Cyclops thermal reactor, because the Cyclops just eats through electricity, you know, or because it's also charging the prawn suit, or if you have a Seamoth in your Cyclops, prawn suit, it's almost always docked, so it's always at full. And I've stolen power cells out of my Cyclops to put, not out of my Cyclops. I've stolen power cells out of my prawn suit to put into my Cyclops because it was so low. Cyclops is the only vehicle in Subnautica I have ever had a need to replace the power cells in, and it's the only one you really need to. So yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Neither, I mean, the torpedo system, while I get what they were going for. Oh wait, there's another upgrade to the perimeter defense system. That one is, I mean, like, there shouldn't be a torpedo system and a perimeter defense system. It should be one or the other. Because like sonar is actually useful. If you're using your Seamoth to go into caves and stuff and get minerals and stuff, the kind of high up caves, then sonar is actually really useful because you can't see anything. And then, but other than that, I mean, you need one, like you need a torpedo system or the perimeter defense system, not both. I mean, having both is just useless. Like, I'll be sitting there, like, should I make the perimeter defense system, which is stupidly expensive? Or should I make the torpedo system, which is really cheap, but either I use magnesium and titanium, or I use gas pods, which are really hard to get. Both of them are really inconvenient and really don't do that much. Like, and for what? I can shoot a torpedo and I can shoot a torpedo, which is really hard to aim and miss. Or I can have a really expensive perimeter defense system that I will only use when I'm in my Seamoth, which is almost never. I'm trying to stick out of opinions, but I really do hate the Seamoth a lot. So yeah, we're just gonna move on. So yeah, Seamoth lore time. Wow, lore time. Apparently I'm allergic to lore. So, in the Subnautica lore for the Seamoth, of which there is little, the dude who made the Seamoth, who like invented it, whatever, yeah, he's apparently on the board for Alterra, which has kind of been made fun of because the Seamoth is so incredibly useless. I mean, how can a guy who invented a submarine that can only go 700 meters deep be on the board for a company like Alterra? How? I mean, it's just stupid. Like, and then, the Seamoth has the... Alright, let me get the PDA entry. The Seamoth is a fast, safe mode of transport, but remember that swimming is good for your glutes and endorphin levels. Okay, thanks PDA for the most interesting lore ever about the Seamoth, eh? Yeah. There's not really much Seamoth lore. If you came to this video looking for Seamoth lore, why? I don't think there's been a person ever that's loved the Seamoth so much that they want a lore video on it. But if you want a Seamoth lore video, hit me up in the comments. Yeah. How many more of these? Let's finish on that. So yeah, the Seamoth, Something I didn't talk about last video was why the Cyclops wasn't in Below Zero. It's pretty simple why it's too damn big. Um, but there has been a questioning on why the Seamoth isn't in Below Zero. Um, so it's because it's weird. Cause the Sea Truck is, Seamoth isn't, and the Prawn Suit is, which is kind of it. Yeah, wow, I stated the obvious right there. That felt good. Yep. It's just weird, I guess, to some people. So yeah, in Subnautica Below Zero, the Seamoth has been considered to be too fast for Below Zero, which I guess is fair enough. And they also lowered the speed of the Sea Glide, but like the Seamoth, it really would fit in Below Zero so much better than it fits in the game, the base game, because it's like I want to put it this way. All right, we have two vehicles, three, I guess, in vehicles in Below Zero. We have the ice hover bike thing, which is useless, unless you're on ice. Um, we have the prawn suit, which is nice. Everybody loves the prawn suit. Then we have the sea truck, which is mediocre. I guess it's pretty cool. Now the sea truck is freaking big when you have a bunch of compartments. That's kind of annoying. And so you can't get some places, and it doesn't have cameras like the Cyclops does. You know, prawn suit, you can pretty much get anywhere with that. The Seamoth would be perfect for Below Zero. Yes, it is very fast, but also, why don't you just make it slower like you did with the Sea Glide? It's literally just a change in the code. That's it. Now, in the main game, the Seamoth doesn't fit because it is useless after you get the Cyclops or the prawn suit. And it's pretty much useless anyways. I mean, yeah, I guess it is pretty useful when you're getting minerals for the Cyclops, the prawn suit, you know, and you can use it as basically an oxygen tank. But like, that's literally its only use, as just oxygen. You know, the Sea Glide is barely slower than it, you know. And I guess the point of it is to be, like, if you're going somewhere, just hop in your Seamoth and go. But I feel like, you know, at the point where you will be going somewhere that far away, you will already have a Cyclops and a prawn suit and the higher capacity O2 tank, which gives you like 4 minutes of oxygen or something stupid like that. So you can pretty much just use your Sea Glide underwater, you know, or if you're going someplace really far and really deep, bring your prawn suit, your Cyclops, or both, you know. The problem is that when you use your Seamoth with your Cyclops, you know, if they wanted you to do that, you know, drive somewhere in the Cyclops far away, and use the Seamoth to go out and explore, you see, that won't work because the Seamoth has a lower max crush depth than the Cyclops. The Cyclops can go down, what, like 1,200 meters? The Seamoth can only go down, at max, like 700 meters. Final thing. Why? Why was the Seamoth that kind of piece of garbage added to the game? Well, it's pretty simple. It's a one-person submersible it's supposed to be used early game and for exploration, and, you know, getting places. It's kind of already all been discussed in this video. I'm just wrapping it all up. I mean, it does the job somewhat well. I think that it is overshadowed by the prawn suit in the exploration part, and a little bit the Cyclops. I mean, the prawn suit, the thing is with the prawn suit, is with the right upgrades, like literally the grappling arm and maybe the jump boost upgrade, you can get anywhere on the map, and you can get out of anywhere on the map. Unless you're talking about the dead zone, but the Seamoth can't get there either. You know, and for transport, you know, the Cyclops does that way better. while it is slower, it is a mobile base. The Cyclops, you don't need a habitat like to play Subnautica. You don't need a whole base, you know. You can just use the Cyclops. You know, you stick a few marble melons or bobo trees or lantern fruit in there. You know, you've got your H2O and your food covered. You know, if you have a thermal blade and a still suit, that's even better. You know? And it's the Cyclops just does the transport so much better. With the Cyclops, you can go somewhere and stock up on materials that you'll need for the rest of the game. I mean, I went out with my Cyclops once, the first time I played Subnautica, or it may have been the second. Anyways, I went out once on a titanium run. I drove around the whole map. You know, I went to every biome. I was like, wow, look at that, look at that, look at that. You know, got a ton of titanium, got a ton of resources. You know, it was crazy. And I brought my prawn suit with me because I wanted to get the big resource veins, you know, which really helped. You know, and I went down deep. I went down about 700 meters at most because I didn't have the final upgrade yet for my Cyclops. And you know, it was great. I got a ton of materials. I came back. If I were to do that with the Seamoth, I would have to go out again in like 3 hours. Because there just is not enough storage on it to make it viable for that. I mean, you're also not going to waste an upgrade spot, you know, on a storage module. I mean, maybe one you'll use for an upgrade, for like a storage module, but not another one. I'm pretty sure you can put 2 on it. Even so, even if you can't put 2 on it, there's still not enough storage in the regular storage slot. There's just not enough. You know, the Cyclops has way more, and you can put more in it. You know, even the prawn suit has bigger storage than the Seamoth. You know, the Seamoth's the only thing that it has going for it is that it's fast. Other than that, it's not really useful for anything. You know, like, I have mine still in all my games. I never, like, just destroy them for fun or anything. I keep them because, like, you know, maybe there's going to be some reason or whatever that I'm going to be like, oh, well, I need to take my Seamoth somewhere because, you know, Seamoth. Alright, yeah, that's it for this video. Yeah, the last video did incredibly well. I'm honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I am overjoyed that video did so well. It was just incredible. I remember I woke up and it was at 800 views, you know, and I was like, what? You know, and we had the, we were over 50 subs, and I think we were actually at exactly 50 at that time, and I was like, yes, you know, because I really did want to hit 50 subs, and I thought 800 views was going to be it. But then, you know, nearly doubled that, actually. You know, which was crazy. I never actually expected that video to get over 1,000 views. I thought it was going to sit at like 500. Like, at most, when I was uploading it. I remember thinking, like, it's not going to do that well. It's such a bad video. It's not going to do that well. But I guess it really wasn't that bad. Because it got 1,000 views, over 1,000 views, and, you know, like 30 to 40 likes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot to me. Right? But yeah, I've also, I wanted to say something else. Oh yeah, I just want to quickly, I know I'm kind of been shoving this down your guys' throat, but I have an Instagram and a Twitter, or whatever it is now, X account. Weird. But yeah, I do have those. If you want to follow me on those, I do post things about my life and videos that are coming up. So yeah, if you want to stay ahead of the loop, yeah, that'll be on the end screen. That's going to pop up in a few moments. Yeah. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all later. Bye.